Friday night. Ain't no telling where we headed. It's a Friday night. What we doing? Are we stepping out? Life's been too hard. We gon' make it count. I ain't mad at the world. I'm just.
All right, guys, let's get right into it. This is Raw Podcast. We're gonna talk about the first game with Colorado, and we're just gonna do game one evaluation just to see where the team is at from last year to this year. We got to talk about it because definitely on this channel we do talk about Colorado football, and I got a love for Coach Prime, one of my favorite players in the NFL all time. But the truth is the truth, and you gotta really, really look this thing out. Now, when it comes to the Colorado Buffaloes, as I watched the game on Thursday night, the same things exist with the Colorado Buffaloes. And yeah, the line has gotten a little bit better. I think Shilo Sanders was only sacked one time. But at the same time, the team needs to get better. And what I mean by that is defensively. Defensively, this team still sucks. Defensively, they can't stop anybody. They give up a lot of big plays, and you can't have that, man. When you're going against Baylor, when you're going against Kansas State, and when you start going against heavier competition, even with Nebraska next week, you got to step up your defense, man. The defense is still suspect, and it's subpar at best. And I don't know what type of defense they're really running, because whatever they're running is really not effective. And guys are able to do whatever they want. The quarterback, you see Cam Miller for North Dakota State was able to run. He was able to pass. Pretty much, if they probably had some more time on the clock, if they had 2 minutes, Buffaloes would have probably lost this game. And I'm just keeping it a buck. I love, what Coach Prime is trying to do and trying to change the culture at Colorado and change this program from a losing program to a winning program. I understand all that. But at the end of the day, the same issues is still there. You know what I mean? Yeah, Shador only got sacked once, but they were getting in and hitting them as well. And you can't have that. I seen even big Jordan Seaton getting pushed back. And I know he was talking about, not allowing his quarterback to get hit and stuff like that. I mean, I think once you're able to get a clean pocket for Shador, he's going to produce some big numbers. We already know he threw for 400 yards. Last year he threw for 500 yards in the opener. This time he threw for 445. And Shador's big time. And I'm going to take nothing away from Shador, because you have to have a line to be a good quarterback. That's any quarterback. It doesn't matter if you're a dual threat quarterback or you're a stand in the pocket guy. It doesn't matter. You have to have a line to be able to protect you, to be able to deliver the football to these receivers. We already know that Travis Hunter is a dog. Travis Hunter is a flat out dog. Real. And Jimmy Horn as well. I don't want to just give props to Travis Hunter, because, everybody's talking about Travis Hunter. But Jimmy Horn probably could have had an even bigger game. He missed a couple catches in the game, but Jimmy Horn had 7 catches for $198 that nobody's even talking about. I know everybody's giving the accolades all to Travis Hunter, but Jimmy Horn was balling too as well. And he probably could have had another score on that screen, but he didn't catch the ball. But my evaluation, man, what I'm seeing of the team so far is still the same problems. They still don't feature a running back. They still do the run by committee. And nothing is wrong with doing a run by committee. Giving a guy a break and allowing some fresh legs to get out on the field. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But they still don't feature a guy. So that's why you got Dylan Edwards not there anymore. And that's the reason why you got Alton McCaskill not there anymore. Both of those guys decided to go to a team that they would probably, touch the football more. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with Dylan Edwards at Kansas State. Maybe he's in the same situation, having to share the backfield with another guy. And the same thing could be with Alton McCaskill going to Arizona State. I don't know if he's going to be the featured guy. But I know when he was at Houston, which he probably should have never left Houston, he probably should have stayed with Houston, Alton McCaskill. But, sometimes people make decisions, rash decisions sometimes, and don't really understand what's the best situation for them. I understand the glitz and the glamour and the charisma that Coach Prime has, but at the same time, you have to go where it's a great fit for you. That's the biggest thing that you have to be able to do. You have to go where it's going to be a great fit for you. And that's just the name of the game when it comes to college football, period. I know everybody wants to go to Alabama. Everybody wants to go to Ohio State. But you have to go to a program where it's going to be beneficial to you and that you'll get the opportunity to play. That's what you want. The more reps, the more you're allowed to get out on the field and do your thing and showcase your talent, the better for you. But, man, this, with Colorado, man, I just see the same issues. I see the same issues. I know that they got Warren Sapp over there trying to help the defensive line. But, the biggest thing, man, is being able to have a line that can create havoc every weekend, man. And that's what they need. They need that defense to be able to create some havoc so that their corners and safeties can make some plays. And I really don't see it. I see the same defense that's going to give up big plays, that's not really going to stop the run as much. And I don't see the team. I don't know, man. The schedule was kind of tough this year in the Big 12 for these guys. And I don't know how many games Coach Prime is going to win this year. I know last year was 4. I don't even know how many games he's going to win this year because it's going to be tough. It really is going to be tough for this team. Because if you're struggling with North Dakota State, and I know North Dakota State has been able to beat some Power 5 teams before. So this team ain't no joke. They can play some football. But at the same time, if you're struggling with these guys, what is going to look like when you have to go against Texas Tech, when you have to go against all these other different teams? What is it going to really look like? So that's the biggest thing, man. I see the defense just being the same, and I see them not being able to run the football. I think they only had like 50-something yards rushing. You can't have that, man. It has to be a balance. And I know that they want Shedeur to do his thing, but you got to have a run game. You have to. And right now, currently, I just don't see a run game with the Colorado Buffs. I don't see it. I don't see it. It's going to be the same thing as last year. It's going to be a run by committee with none of these guys pretty much rushing over 100 yards. Which one of these running backs is going to be the guy? And I think that Coach Prime is going to have to figure that out. He's going to have to figure out which guy at the end of the day is going to be the guy. And I'm not saying that just because he's the guy, he can't get taken out and put in for another guy to get a breather or something like that. But they're going to be able to have to feed a guy more. He has to get more touches. Normally running backs, when they get more touches, they get warmed up in the game, and then they're able to explode out on the field eventually. But if you're coming in and you're only getting 5 carries, or you may get 6 carries in a game, that's not really going to help you unless you break loose for a 60 or a 70-yard run to the house. That's not really going to help you. So I still see that they can't run the football. And that's going to be a problem going forth. Because all teams are going to know that you're a one-dimensional team, and the only thing that you're good at is passing the football. So I just got to keep it 100. I respect Coach Prime. I love what these guys are trying to do in Colorado. But at the end of the day, the team has to be a different team from last year. You don't want to see the same thing being repeated this year. Because at the end of the day, when you're watching these guys, it looks like a repeat performance from last season when it comes to this defense. Giving up a bunch of big plays, giving up big runs, can't really stop the quarterbacks. They're doing whatever they want to do. And we'll see, man. But we'll see. The season is young and it's early. But from my evaluation in game number 1 against North Dakota State is that this team definitely has to get better defensively, especially going against these Big 12 teams. They're going to have to get better. And if Coach Prime does not get this team better defensively, it's going to be a nightmare this season. You're going to get the same results. And you don't want that. Last year you won 4 games. Maybe this year you want to win 7 games, 8 games, somewhere in there. So we'll see, man, at the end of the day, is he really going to be able to turn this program around? But from what I'm seeing on the field, the defense is still suspect, it's still subpar, and they're going to have a lot of trouble when they start playing the bigger schools, because those guys are going to come out to Shador as well. The bigger schools are going to be coming at you big time. And we're really going to see what that O-line is made of. So, yeah, he only got sacked 1 time, but they were getting back there to him and kind of, touching him at least. Even if they didn't sack him, they was getting back there. And you can't have that. That's a no-no, man. You got to protect this kid. Shador is big time, man. This dude can play football, but he needs the protection. So the O-line definitely has to clean up a little bit of their things, but they didn't play as bad as they did last year. But I still think that they can get better. They definitely get a whole lot better. And defensively, you need these linebackers getting after it. You need these guys flying in, making tackles. And you need the front line to be disruptive and causing havoc. And until you get that, and if you don't ever get that, then the team is just going to be the same defense. They're going to give up a lot of big plays. Nobody's really getting interceptions or takeaways or anything like that, or turnovers. And you got the same defense that you ran last year. And, I mean, these guys are not doing anything. So my game 1 evaluation of this team, which I will be watching the next game when they play against Nebraska, is to see if this defense is going to get better. Because if you don't get better, then you're not going to win that many games this season. And it's going to be like a repeat of last year. And you don't want that. I don't want to see that for Colorado. I want to see these guys win. But at the same time, you have to be truthful as a fan. Even if you love Coach Prime, you still got to be truthful as a fan, and you got to call it what it is. You got to keep it a buck, man. You have to keep it a buck. The defense is not as good. I totally agree with Shannon Sharp when he said that the team is pretty much it's still the same. Nothing has really changed. Nothing. It still looks like the same team doing the same things, and you can't be doing the same things because that's not going to get you wins. You gotta be better defensively. You cannot be giving up all these big plays. You gotta find a way to get this defense to be more competitive. You gotta get this defense flying around, making plays. That's where you need these Colorado Buffs at this year. So this game 1 evaluation, man, really told me a lot that this is either going to be the same or it can even be worse. And you don't want it to be that way. It'll be Shador putting up a lot of numbers. It'll be Travis Hunter doing his thing. Yeah, those guys are doing their thing. But you want to see the whole team be good as a whole. So shout out to Jimmy Horn, man. Jimmy Horn was out there balling. Could have had an even more better game. Could have had over 200 some yards catching. Missed a couple balls, but that's okay, man. But this is my game 1 evaluation. Game number 2 evaluation against Nebraska is coming. So guys, make sure you hit that subscription button. Subscribe to the channel, because over here we're going to keep it a buck with the Colorado Buffs. Love these guys. Want to see these guys get better. But you got to do it defensively. I'm out of here. Until next time. Peace.
What we doing? Are we stepping out? Life's been too hard, we gon' make it count. I ain't mad at the world, I'm just living life. And if I came up out the bag, you know I pay the price. The night's too young, let's have some fun, let's paint the town. Let's shut it down, it's our time now. And I ain't going in till the sun come up. And I ain't going in until we blew up the bucks. Cause it's us, throw it up, live it up. Come with us, we gon' paint the town. Love you right now, hop in.